Welcome to In It to Win It. This is Steve Barton, and thank you for tuning in. We are here for Monday Market Moves, what happened last week in the market, and what I expect for next week. Bit of an abbreviated episode this week, traveling and spending time with family. So we'll be back to normal next week, but had about half the volume in most of the markets. So not a whole lot to report this week, but I wanted to get you guys your weekly recap. All righty, starting out as always with the S&P 500. So as you can see here, if we zoom in on the daily, you can see the normal volumes here are around 3 billion shares. And then on Monday, we had 2 billion. And then on Tuesday, 1 billion. And then 1.45. And then we'll round up to 1.8 billion. So less volume than normal. And markets kind of behaved accordingly. So S&P 500 is up 0.7% for the week. So we have some support here on the 50 daily moving average and then some resistance up here at the 20 daily moving average. And if we go to the weekly here, got some immediate support right here on the 20 weekly moving average. On the daily here, though, I'm going to go by that, and I'm going to say my bias for next week is slightly down. I think it'll at least touch again on that 50 moving average, which is around 5,940. And the dollar is up 0.2% for the week. So bias for next week is down. Looks like it's sloping down here, kind of a bearish reverse bar there on Friday, although very slightly to the downside. I think next week will probably bring a little bit more pressure on the dollar and drive it down. Although I do got to say, this does look a bit like a bullish pennant. So let me draw it here for you guys if you can't see it. Just a little bit like that, and then see how it kind of goes to a point there. So that would argue that it would go to the upside, but I'm gonna stick with my original conviction and say it's going down. Gold is down 0.5% for the week. Undo that. There we go. Back to our pointer, and we're off. All right. Gold is down 0.5% for the week. Bias for next week is down. Got some immediate support around 2,600, and the real support is going to be at 2,550. I don't think it'll hit that next week, but bias for next week is definitely down. And GDX is down 1.4% for the week. We do have some support now. We got a little bit of a double bottom here with some back support back there. I really like the support, though, around $33 or $32.90. That lines up with the 400-day moving average. Also had some selling pressure here. So in GDX and GDXJ, we had a dividend pay. So rebalancing in the fund, and, they got to sell some shares to pay out that dividend. So they did that. And so you got your dividend. Although we do have this little baby double bottom here, I think we probably still have a little bit more downside here for GDX. GDXJ, same kind of thing. So our green line got hit. If you had your limit order in at $43, congratulations, you're in. I'm going to move this down here again. We'll put it right at around $41 will be your next limit order. And I think we might get there. Maybe not quite 41, but probably pretty close to it. Someone wrote me last week that your limit orders seem to be pennies from hitting. So I'm just going to add a nickel or a quarter just to make sure I get in, and that's probably a prudent thing to do. Silver is down 1 penny, down 1 penny for the week. So you lost a penny on every ounce of silver. Okay, so down 0.04% for the week. Right around this 200-day moving average. Bias for next week is going to be down. I think it'll blow through that 200 moving average. Not really blow through it, but I think we might have a repeat of like we did here Thursday and Friday of the week before. Something like that, like maybe a little double bottom down here around 29.25, something like that. I do see our real support down here is at $28, and then after that, $26.50. And I think silver will go down next week. Gold divided by silver closed the week at a ratio of 87.8 ounces of silver for 1 ounce of gold. I think silver will underperform gold next week, meaning gold will outperform, making that ratio higher. And SIL is down 0.4% for the week. So right around this 200-day moving average, although it dropped below it on Friday. Take a look at the weekly here, though. We've got a pretty strong weekly ironing out right here for SIL. I like a lot of the support right here around $32. Looks pretty strong. And we've got a golden cross forming here in the weekly, although most traders and algorithms pay attention to the 50 and 200 daily. But we got a bearish reversal bar on the weekly. Looking kind of weak here on the daily. I think we'll get down at least that $32 level on SIL. SILJ. Okay, if you don't have any of this and you want to leverage bet on silver, this is it. This is Junior Silver Miners ETF. I think now's a fine entry. I have a lot of back support back there. Even looking at $10.25 as a limit order, I think is also pretty good. And Hecla Mining is down 0.6% for the week. Our option is not working out on this thing. Looking like we had a bear flag right here, and that played out. Wish I would have got the option to date out a little bit further. I'm afraid this one's going to expire. Worthless. And copper, paging Dr. Copper, up 0.6% for the week. So I had a little bit of a bump here in copper, although, just seems to keep obeying this trend line that we've just had drawn forever. I really think it's going to break to the downside of this thing. And if it does, initial support is going to be around $3.95, somewhere around there. But I don't think it'll happen next week. Bias for copper next week is sideways to up. The COP.U, so the Sprott Physical Copper Trust, like this thing a lot. We have a really interesting arbitrage right now, trading at north of a 20% discount. So we had our fourth limit order hit week before last, and we got that at $6.35. And then we have our next limit order in here for $6.25. I'm happy with my position now, but if it gets cheaper, I want more. So it basically becomes like, what's 20% of $4.12, and it comes out to around $3.35, which is where we have this yellow line. So if you think that copper is going to get sold off more than $3.35 in this coming recession, then this is not a good bet. If you think that it'll sell off somewhere above that, then that's basically what you're getting a discount on here. And COPX is up 0.8% for the week. So we put in our limit order just like we talked about and took a note on last week. We got it in at 38.25. Now, if we had that the week before last, we would have hit and been in. But yeah, we didn't. Just missed it. Hopefully you guys didn't. So limit order at 38.25, and the stink bid down here around 36.25. And COPJ is up 1.6% for the week. So hit right on the yellow line right there, $17.85. Bounced up. I think that might be a nice limit order if you don't have anything in COPJ and you want some junior copper miners in your portfolio. And then after that, a stink bid around $16.60. Uranium is down down 3.8% for the week. So what I love about this bet right now is although uranium spot price closed at $70.60, the term market right now, meaning what they're signing contracts for going out into the future, is $81 to $85, according to the people that follow this more than I do. And so I think we're at a really sweet arbitrage, just like we are with the copper physical trust, where we can play the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, this one, which was flat for the week. I think now is a fantastic time to get in. I really do. I think the pricing for uranium should be in the low 80s, but the spot price, which this is dictated off of, is actually in the low 70s, and basically $70. So low RSI here, right? In the low 30s. Have a nice little double bottom back there. I think this is a slam dunk bet. URNM is up 0.4% for the week. So we've got just hitting on this upward channel trend line right here that we drew a long time ago. And here, if we go to the weekly, we've finally started to get a 200 weekly on this fund because now we have enough weeks on the chart to show it, and it's hitting right around the 200 weekly. So I think it's a pretty nice entry point right here. If you're new to uranium and you want to play it, this is the one that I like the best is URNM, and I think now's a pretty good time to get it. URNJ is up 0.1%. So I think we have some support now, and just lining up with some back support right here. So if you don't have any of this and you want some, I think now's a good time. And even better, I think, is 1750 for another entry point. I think there's a little bit more support back there. And crude oil. So bias for uranium next week is up. Crude oil is up 1.2% for the week. Bias for next week on this is up. Make sure you guys check out our recent episodes with Christine Guerrero. We did 3 episodes last week. So she had a PowerPoint presentation on the Permian Basin and why she thinks, opposite of Doomberg, that we are plateauing in production out of the Permian Basin, which is about 5% of the planet's supply of oil. So if that's the case, it's very bullish for oil. And she said that $70 oil right now is like $55 oil pre-COVID because during COVID, they printed all those stimulus checks and handed them out, increasing the money supply, so making more dollars in existence, and it takes more dollars to buy the same barrel of oil. So $55 oil, she says, is pretty much a floor, so we're probably at a floor here. So that would go against our thought here on the chart that we're going to have, that this may not be the, this kind of petering out and then falling down. This may actually be a really, really decent level of support here on oil at $67. And XLE is up 0.5% for the week. So bounced right down here. So good on you if you had that $83 limit order on XLE that you've had forever, and it finally hit. Just coincided perfectly there with that dividend on the same day it hit. Congratulations, you are in. Look at how low the RSI got down there. It got down to 2018. I mean, just absolutely in the tank, and you got it. So congratulations. Well done. Patience pays off. The way I played it was I played XOM. That one is up 0.6% for the week, so I played it ExxonMobil. Got that one in at, what I get, at 105.72. So like this company a lot. This is my favorite one as far as when it comes to oil and gas play. Yeah, I don't see any buys right now. I'd like to see a little double bottom iron out, and then your stink bid can be down here for 102. Bias for oil. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going up. I can't see these equities falling much more. So I think we're going to have a bounce in oil for next week. Natural gas is down 9.2% for the week. So just fell out of the sky on Friday. Got caught by this 20 moving average right there. I wrote that natural gas is going to go up next week, although now that I'm looking at the chart, I'm starting to question that thesis. I'll move this line back up here. Yeah, I think we'll get a bounce probably on Monday. We'll probably have a slight bounce here in natural gas. Devon is up 1.4% for the week. So hopefully we've hit a bottom. Got the bottom end down here at $30.39. Hopefully that holds. We shall see. But got a little bit more week before last on Friday. Didn't get any last week. I don't think I bought anything this week. Now that come to think of it, I don't think I sold anything either. Just been spending time with family. But still really low in the RSI. I mean, at one point there when I bought it, it was 16 on the RSI. I mean, just incredibly low. It's been a while since I've seen one that low. So hopefully we caught it in Devon. We'll see. Paydo is up 6.4% for the week. So hit perfectly on our limit order there. Got it for $10.64.5, and then shot right up. And as far as next week, it kind of looks like all these natural gas ones are going to be continuing to angle up next week. So low volume here, but like Pato a lot. And Birchcliff, same kind of thing, just came down touch. And Birchcliff is up 5.4% for the week. So looking fantastic. Closed the week at $3.50. This one actually looks like it might go down next week. So it just got caught here by the 20 moving average, but I think we'll have a little bit of selling pressure next week. And thermal coal is down 0.8% for the week. Bias for next week is up. Met coal closed the week at 199. Bias for this is sideways to up. And our favorite coal ETF, our limit order might actually hit down here at $20. That would be fantastic. I think we're probably getting some selling pressure here. Maybe they're rebalancing the ETF. I don't know that we're going to have any dividends out of this thing. We might not have any profits, but time will tell. RSI is 20, so I would not fault anyone for getting some right now, but I've already got quite a bit. AMR is down 1.1% for the week. Looks like we might be coming up on a little double bottom right here, so I wouldn't fault anyone for getting some right here. Look at that. Got that gap, hit, bounce, and bounce again. Low RSI, 29. I'm sticking with my guns here at 186. We'll see if that's prudent or not. Glencore is up 0.9% for the week. So, yeah, I mean, I thought it was a steal at $9.40, and apparently it's not because it got even cheaper. So I like Glencore a lot right now at these levels. Stink bid in for $7.95. And Peabody, BTU, took out an option week before last, down 3.3%. So that was a little disappointing. I thought that I'd caught the bottom down here. Apparently I had not. We need to move this green line down, and hopefully that's the bottom right there at 1960. We'll see. We do have some decent back support right around that level. But this option, I went out a little bit further into February, so hopefully I didn't make the same mistake I made with Hecla. And Platinum is down 0.1% for the week, so just fell out of bed there on Friday. Bias for Platinum next week is going to be down. And PPLT, look at that little quadruple bottom or whatever that is right there, $84. So you guys got the first limit order in at 85. I would be patient and wait until it hits 80. And Palladium is down 0.8% for the week. So it looks like we might be coming in for a little double bottom right there. I like an entry around $900 for Palladium. And PALL, the way to play that, an order for $900 Palladium would put you around $82.50 or so in this fund, and then a stink bid at $80. And SPPP is down 0.7% for the week. Same kind of pattern here, right? And stink bid, so you guys got your first order in at $9. Second limit order is going to be $8.75, and then third will be $8.25. And nickel is down 0.4% for the week. So just very little volume on these days, like basically nothing. So can't really go too much by this chart. But closed the week at 15,133 per ton. NIKL. So this one, just very low volume. But I think any order around now is good. If you want to get into nickel miners and you believe in the nickel narrative. And iron ore, basically exactly flat for the week, closed the week at 103.90. Bias for next week is sideways to down. BHP is flat for the week, so closed the week at 49.21. I think now is a great time to buy. You can have a stink bid in down here for 47.50. And our favorite metals and mining ETF is going to be PICK, P-I-C-K, down 0.1% for the week. So we had dividend pay last week. There were probably a few hundred people that saw me with the incorrect dividend for PICK last week, and I was able to edit it out so the next 4,000 that watched the video didn't get the incorrect information, but the first few hundred did. And basically, I added up the wrong number of dividends. So this is the correct number. So this one pays biannual And so if we add up the last two dividends here, we get $1 and we'll call it $1.14. If you divide that by the current share price, that comes out to 3.2% dividend. So pretty cool. Now, this is an ETF, so this is not exact. Each of these dividends is going to change, but that just kind of gives you a ballpark idea of what to expect out of this fund. And Bitcoin is down 0.9% as of this moment. We're recording on Friday. Closed at 94,000. So I really think we're going to have some selling pressure in this. Right now it's being held up by this 50 moving average, but I think we're going to have some selling pressure. I think it'll come back down to this line, and I think it'll hit right around 78,000 or so and bounce off that line and eventually go up to 130 to 138,000. And that is my take as I see it. I hope you guys got something out of that. Be sure to check out the Roll Classroom. We had an awesome Boxing Day special. So if you weren't able to catch that live, it is recorded in the Roll Classroom. It's over 3 hours long. We had a lot of guests on there. We had Danielle DiMartino Booth. We had Jim Rickards, Andy Scheckman, Adam Taggart, Adrian Day, Albert Liu. It was a lot of fun. I got to come in for the last hour or so and MC that thing, and it was just a blast. So be sure to check out the Roll Classroom. Links are in the pinned comment below. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to support the show and share this with anyone that you think needs to hear it. It's probably your buddy. They can't stop talking about tech stocks. You have yourself a great rest of the day, and we will talk to you next time.